So, hello everybody. My name is Eric Guevara. I'm going to be talking about the Salvadorian Civil War. Next slide, please. Now, just going to go over a quick few little things. Now, this war happened between 1980 and 1992, a whopping 12 years. Now, also, right there, I know it says 1932, but I'm going to talk about the beginning layouts of what led up to the war. Also, I'm going to be talking about how the U.S. was involved and how that affected everything. And also, my dad was there. I mean, my whole family was, but honestly, I didn't want to have too many stories, so I only took one. Okay, so we're gonna start with this man. His name is Agustin Farabundo. He was a worker, and one day, they were tired because of an organization known as the 14 Families. Now, this organization pretty much kept all the wealth for themselves, and these workers were tired of it. He led a revolt, but that revolt was quickly crushed in a day that would be known as La Matanza, which can roughly translate to the killing or the massacre. Now, in this massacre, 30,000 native Salvadorians were killed, most of them being civilians. Now, the true boiling point of when the war actually kind of started was in the 1970s with the assassination of Archbishop Oscar Romero. This handsome looking man right there. Now, on this funeral, 250,000 people attended. And unfortunately, the Salvadorian government sent snipers on the rooftops. They ended up killing 42 people and injuring over 200. Now, shortly after, the Farabundo Martin National Liberation Front, or FMLN, was created. This group consisted of 5 militia groups. They all got together because they needed to rebel against the government. Now, these two presidents, Jimmy Carter being first and shortly after Ronald Reagan, the involvement with the Salvador gained with Reagan, but had kind of ended with Jimmy Carter. The reason was that the Salvadorian army, along with a few American paratroopers, had raped and murdered 4 church women. And this did not sit well with Jimmy Carter, so he cut off support to El Salvador. However, in the 1980s, Ronald Reagan was elected. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I mean, the Cold War was happening. And Reagan needed support. So, who better than our neighbor El Salvador, I guess? So he started sending troops all over again because he needed support. Now, the FMLN, they had sent out an all-out attack on January 10th, 1981. Unfortunately, since Reagan was already president, they just sent a bunch of American forces and completely stopped the attack. So, while the U.S. military was there, they committed many heinous crimes, some of them being considered civilian torture, extrajudicial killing, and mass rape. Now, if you don't know what extrajudicial killing is, that is when the government kills someone without sending them to court, without any legal, go through, through the whole system. It's just, they decided that person shouldn't live, and they killed him. So, throughout the whole war, about 75,000 Salvadorians were killed, and a lot of them against civilians and small children. One thing you might not have known is a lot of child soldiers were used. By the age of 12, a kid can be taken into either the U.S. military or the militia. Either way, on both sides, they were using child soldiers. A lot of these killings also took place because of massacres and a lot of random bombings from the American side. All right, next slide. So, right there's my dad, Jorge Guevara. Also, the president at the time was Jose Napoleon Duarte. And right there I have one of his quotes that my dad was telling me about. It was kind of a law that he passed, but regardless of that, the soldiers didn't care. If you were from a different country, they thought, oh, he's a mercenary, He's not here for any other reason. Quick thing, the identifications in El Salvador not only say your ID, where you were born, but also your profession. My dad being a teacher, the military did not like that. Really quickly, I'm just going to tell you this quick story. My dad almost got killed in the bus stop. The military pulled him out of it, and then when they saw he was a teacher, they almost killed him. Luckily, his father happened to come, and he was a really well-known man. He was decently rich, and he was able to be saved because of that. Shortly after, that's when he decided to come to the United States, because he knew that he couldn't take living there anymore. All in all, the whole war took 12 years. Many massacres happened. The U.S. involvement didn't help too much, but, you know, history is what it is. Thank you all for listening.